I've been on a couple of forums lately, both some Facebook groups, some LinkedIn groups, insurance forums, and I see a lot of debating over whole life versus index life. A lot of infighting in our industry, which doesn't help anybody. But that's either here nor there. But I'm Coach Jeremy Nace, and I'm going to give you an opinion that some of you may like, some may not like. But I've been dealing with these products for 27 years. I wrote one of the first IULs back in 1999. I own it all myself. The first one was written in 1997 by Southern Life. There is some history there with it. Okay, and growing up with my dad and being taught by my dad, Lou Nason, who's a stout whole life believer. Okay, who's gone, years ago when Producers Web was still around, he went into a 2-month debate with an account named Insurance Friend on the merits of index life and whole life insurance. And Chris was stirring the industry. It was ridiculous. But when it comes to whole life and index life, okay, if they're both properly funded, it doesn't matter which one you choose. The unpopular opinion, okay? Because if you look at the merits of both products, whole life has their dividends and their guarantees. Index life has less guarantee, but more upside potential. Tremendous more upside potential. All right. So and I would say properly funded, I mean maxing it out. Not selling the IUL at target or below target premiums. I'm talking about stuffing as much money into the policy over 7, 10, or 30 years to maximize the result. All right. So I've owned both policies. I had whole lives, I've had IULs, and over the last 20 years, my IUL outperformed my whole life dramatically. When I bought my whole life in 1994, whole life dividends were on average about between 8 and 9%. Today, they're a little over 5 or 6. And they've been on the downswing for the past 20 years. They had one little glimpse of brilliance in the mid-2000s with the chart to 7s again. I can show you a chart that kind of shows that. Yeah, you could be calling and ask me for it. All right. But if you properly structure the IUL and max it out to the MEC guidelines, no matter what the market does, because it's going to rise and fall, caps are going to adjust, go up, go down, it's going to be there. And here's the thing. So, the big concern is, well, the market goes flat. Like we're having this market period right now. The market just is terrible. And if it goes flat for the next 5 years, what's going to happen? Well, that's where most IULs will shine, to be honest. Because if the market goes flat or goes to some slow growth, not these ramps we've had the last 10, 15 years, or last 8, 10 years, we're going to have those reset periods. We're going to keep catching in a lot of those upsides, capping out 8, 9%, and going back down to 0 the next year, wherever the market investment is going to lose money. The whole life interests are climbing right now, which will help them in the future, but not right now. So there's some concerns, on both sides of the aisle here. But I can tell you through experience, through work, writing literally thousands of IUL policies, and writing thousands of whole life policies, that if you structure it properly, it's going to be there for the client when they need it most. So let's stop the infighting, the arguing about it. I know we have a lot of whole life believers, and I get it. I was once one of you. When I first got in the business, my first policy I bought and sold was a whole life of the Maris. One of the better whole lives of back in that era. Maybe error is the right word, I think. Error. But if you structure it properly, it's going to be there. The market falls because we have that fixed rate vehicle still in there. So the market does terrible. Interests keep climbing like they were in the 70s and 80s. What's going to happen at fixed interest rates? They're going to climb. In all our vehicles, all the IULs that I sell and teach about all have a fixed rate component. So worst case is that we move our money to a fixed rate investment or split into a fixed rate investment and capture a lot of that upside either way. We have a lot of flexibility there. Okay, so I'm going to do a series next year. I'm going to break down whole life and IUL. I'm going to do it for free on YouTube. Just kind of give you guys another look at some alternative information, alternative views on it from someone who does both policies regularly, and show you where both shine. But as of right now, guys and gals, just think about it this way. You know, what's best for the client? Nobody knows. None of us have a crystal ball can peer in the future and know whether whole is going to be the best or IUL is going to be the best in 20 years. None of us do. Over the last 20 years, whole life's been up and down. Over the last 20 years, IUL has shined. Could it be inverted? Absolutely. Could the IULs go down a little bit? Yeah. Are they going to fall away to the wayside? Absolutely not. You know, a lot of people don't want to buy fixed rate whole life anymore, especially the repositioning, retirement assets. They want something a little more bang for the buck. And when they can get that, 9 to 12%, upside in a whole life, why would I sell for a 4% guarantee or a 5 or 6% dividend? It's a tough sale. But again, it has to be properly structured. If you're selling IUL below target at minimums or zero cash value to 100, that will pee me off to no end, because that is the wrong way to sell it. You are hurting your clients more than helping them. And I'm very outspoken about that fact, that if you're selling IUL at anywhere below MAC premiums, well, the 7-pay test, the guideline single premium test, you're doing it wrong. And I'll argue they have dead on that one. That's a hill I will die on, because you are not helping your clients. But if you were, like the guys I teach, up to the MEC levels, guideline single premium levels, 7-pay tests, and you're stuffing it as full as you can stuff it, you're doing it right for the client. Right? But at the end of the day, whatever policy you choose, you have to feel good about. And again, it goes back to common sense here. Don't let other people's opinions tell you what you should or shouldn't do, what you should and shouldn't sell. You want to make sure you feel right about some of the policy. You want to have something you can look back and say, well, yeah, I did the right thing for the client. Then I'm not having to worry about it. If you're worrying about it, don't sell it. If you're concerned that the market is going to be terrible for the next 20 years, don't sell IUL, sell whole life. If you think the market's going to come back and be strong for the next 20 years, sell the IUL. Follow your beliefs, not other people's. It'll make your life much simpler, first and foremost. But, really think about look at the policies you sell. Do you feel good about what you're doing? Do you believe in what you're doing? Hell, do you own what you sell? I own both. I own whole life and IULs. I have policies up to all of my desk for me and my kids and my wife, because I believe in what we do. But if you truly believe in what you do and how you're helping people, you should own what you're selling. Unless you medically can't qualify, that's a whole different story. But if you're healthy enough and you believe what you do, you should own what you do, right? And that will help you sleep at night. That'll help you feel good about what your client's doing. And in the end, if you feel good about it, your client feels good about it, you've done the right thing. All right. If you guys ever have any questions about these policies, how they work, anything, visit my website, insuranceproshop.com, or give me a call. I'm here to help you guys. Other than that, that's tip for the day. And this will be the last one for December. And we want to focus on building new content for next year. And we'll start building those classes out early on to talk about whole life IUL, breaking them down, little 5-10 minute videos to kind of help show you guys how these products really work, especially for all you newbies out there. Some of your experienced guys will learn a few things too. I can promise you that. But other than that, you guys have a great holiday, have a great year, and we'll see you next year.